everybody? Welcome back to the That's That podcast. What's going on? It's your girl back again with another episode, a little impromptu episode. And tonight, or today, we are gonna be spilling the tea on Love is Blind Season 2. This is my analysis of that season. Okay, before I jump into the episode though, y'all follow me on social media, follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter. I've been getting a lot of backlash on Twitter if y'all want to check me out. Just kidding. But follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Link is in the bio for everything. Y'all will find it. With that being said, let's jump into today's episode. Love is Blind Season 2. What were we thinking about that shit? That shit was wild. If you don't know what Love is Blind is, it's basically this Netflix original show with Nick and Vanessa Lachey, I believe that's the last name, hosting it. And basically the whole point of Love is Blind is that 15 men, 15 women sign up for this experiment and they basically date each other without having to see each other. They date each other, they're talking through a wall, they have no idea how this person looks on the other side. They have 5-10 days to date with all of these men and women. And then at the end of those 10 days, you see if you come out of this shit engaged or not. And if you do come out engaged, you go on this little honeymoon resort in Mexico. And then boom, you got 3 weeks, meet the parents, and you're married or not. Very, very intense experiment, if I do say so myself. It is a lot. So I stumbled upon Love is Blind because it just kept popping up on my recommended. Netflix was like, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch it. And I'm like, this is just not my type of show. You know what I mean? But I was like, we ball. Netflix is always Netflix has been lacking on their Netflix originals, I feel like. But I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna give it a shot. If it's in the top 10 viewing, top 10 most viewed on Netflix, it's gotta be, you know? I hopped on it, watched season 1. Season 1 was whatever. You know, Lauren and her little man, though. And Amber and Barnett, though. The people who did come out of this married season 1, period. But season 2, oh my god, y'all. I started watching season 2, and when they were still, in the pods and stuff, I was like, this is so bad. This is so much worse than season 1. But y'all, the drama. I can't. So much unfolded in season 2, so much drama, so much back-talking, so much hating, so much heartbreak. It was an actual reality TV show. It was crazy. I felt like I wasn't even watching Love is Blind. I felt like I was watching, the Kardashians or something. I don't know. I don't even watch the Kardashians. But you know what I mean? I felt like season 2 was very much intense. And I feel like compared to season 1, season 2, a lot of people came into season 2 without an open mind. And I'm not just talking about, y'all know the one person that everybody's been hating on since the season ended. But I mean, a lot of people came onto this show and I feel like they did not come with an open mind. And I am here to discuss the people who did end up getting engaged and who made it to the altar or who didn't make it to the altar. I'm here to discuss them, and I'm here to talk about all the shit casting members that was on that show. Yes, I'm talking about everybody. I'm here to talk about all that stuff, y'all. I'm here to discuss and analyze all the bullshit that went through season 2. So, without further ado, let me talk about the people who actually did end up getting married at the end of the experiment and did end up, making it through the altar and, are living lavish now. So we have only 2 couples made it to the altar and said yes. We have Ayana and Jarrett, and we have Nick and Danielle. Nick and Danielle, y'all, that was my number 1 couple from the get-go. That was the one where I was like, I need to see them married. If they're not married, love is not real kind of stuff. So I needed to see them married. And I knew from the jump, they were meant to be. It just looks so good, you know? And with the last episode, which was right before the bachelorette party, and they were in the pool, I had a feeling inside myself. I was like, if they just say yes at the altar, if they say I do and get married, so much stress is gonna get off their shoulders. Like, I feel like they were just fighting and butting heads a lot because the pressure of getting married in 3 weeks to somebody you don't even know is very much intense. And I just felt like all that pressure on them was not, like, the pressure and the fighting was overcoming the love. But when they made it to the altar and said I do, love overcame all, basically. That's how I felt like with them. So I knew from the get-go, like, they were the ones. And then Ayanna and Jarrett. If I'm being honest, I did not like Ayanna at the beginning, y'all. I did not like Ayanna. Like, I was like, every time this bitch came on the show, I was like, oh my god, y'all, shut up. Like, she's so annoying. She reminds me of the girls who are like, uppies, give me uppies, pick me up. Like, if you know what I'm talking about. I just did not like her. Like, she just felt very, like, childish to me. And not childish in a way, like, she reacted to things. Just, like, the way she talked and, like, presented herself. Like, the way she talked. Like, it was just not for me. You know, but she pulled through. She married Jarrett. They are a beautiful couple, I do have to say. And honest to God, Jarrett, like, I love Jarrett from the get-go. Even with his whole bullshit with Mallory, like, Jarrett seems like such a great guy, like, from the heart, you know? So I love Jarrett. But Ayanna, like, I just have to say with Ayanna, I feel like she matured so much after getting married. I don't know. Like, she just, like, blew my mind, I feel like. I feel like Jarrett really pulled out her maturity from her. And then she was like, shit, like, I'm married now. Like, I have to be mature. Like, I'm an adult. And she still has, like, her little quirks and stuff. Like, she's still beautiful. She's a beautiful person inside and out. But I just feel like marriage really matured her. And I feel like there was no better person to mature her in marriage than Jarrett. I feel like they were, like, perfect with each other. So I'm very happy for the people who got married, Nick and Danielle. Like, I love them from the get-go. They're a beautiful couple. She's a beautiful woman. And Ayanna and Jarrett, like, period. Like, I'm really happy for them. And they seem like they're really going to thrive. You know, Jarrett is such a kind person at heart. And Ayanna has a great soul. Like, genuinely. And I think these couples who made it out of the experience, and even in season 1, are going to last. And they're, like, they proved love is blind, quote unquote. So that's that with the couples who did get married. Congratulations to them if they ever, like, see this. Don't got much to say. I think both the partners lift the other person up. Both the partners, you know, like, bring out things and bring out insecurities from their partner and help build them up from that. And I just think the people who did get married at the end of season 2 were a perfect match, and I wish them the best in everything, and I think they will thrive. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into the people who did not make it to the altar, who did not say I do. Ooh, baby. So much drama, y'all. I can't. Okay. So the first couple I want to talk about that did not make it to the altar is Shane and Natalie. If you know Shane and if you know me, I do not like Shane. Like, I do not like Shane. I would not touch Shane with a 10-foot pole at a party. I would not trust him with my drink. He is the type of guy to post on his Tinder profile just pictures of him flexing at the gym. I do not like Shane. I didn't like him from the get-go. And if you saw back when they were still in the rooms with all the guys during the whole pod session, you can see that when he drank, he would get a little funky. You know what I mean? Like, he would get a little funky, a little cray-cray in the brain. So I did not like Shane. So when I saw that he engaged to Natalie and they were together, my initial reaction was like, oh nah. Like, oh nah, yo. Like, Natalie, baby, what are you doing? Like, you are way too good. Because Natalie is this Korean woman, sophisticated. She presents herself so well. Like, she gotta be like a Capricorn or something. Like, she's a lot like me. Like, I love her. And I'm just like, this girl is way too pretty, way too sophisticated. Like, And then Shane is so, like, upbeat, loud, like, oh, like, I do not like Shane. I don't like him, y'all. I'm sorry. But I will admit, seeing their relationship grow and seeing their relationship just develop, you know, throughout Mexico and then with them living together, like, I can see how they were really compatible. Why? Because they were really opposites, but very similar at the core, if that kind of makes sense. Like, Natalie is very calm, conservative. He's very, like, loud and bubbly and, like, outgoing. And I feel like, you know, the, like, opposites attract. people, balance each other out. So seeing Shane and Natalie develop their relationship in the show and seeing them develop throughout Mexico and living together was actually very interesting for me. And I even noticed like towards the end when they were getting closer to the marriage, I was actually like rooting for them. And I was like, wow, I feel like they both can bring out the best in each other. But then they got in this big fight the night before, like right after the bachelorette party. They got in this big fight the day before the wedding, and then Natalie ultimately said no at the altar, which I think was a very good decision. Because she said it, like, I know they didn't speak too much about what happened in the fight, but I knew, like, deep down it was rooted in Shane being drunk. Because if you saw, like, okay, I just want to say, like, it's reality TV. A lot of shit is cut out that actually happens. A lot of shit is manipulated to make it more dramatic. Like, it's reality TV. It's entertainment, right? But when she was talking about the big fight, like, at the beginning when she was crying at the wedding venue, like, she said, like, oh, could it be, like, because you were drunk or something, right? And it was right after the bachelor party. They were drinking at the bachelor party. And even when he was at the bachelor party, he was very frustrated. He's like, how does Salvador, like, hit all these baseball home runs and I can't even hit anything? Like, it's so embarrassing. Da, 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 da. Like, if that's a big deal. They got in that big fight, and the next day they got married, and then, well, they didn't get married. Like, Natalie said no at the altar, but I'd have to agree. I think that was the best decision. And I just feel like they are, like, the type of people who are, like, right person, wrong time. Because you got to remember, like, you're getting married in 3 weeks. You cannot resolve all of your issues in 3 weeks. You basically just have to compromise, get married in the 3 weeks, and then after you're married, start figuring out the problems, start figuring out the finances, start figuring out, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's just way too much to do in 3 weeks. Like, it's ridiculous. So I am actually kind of happy that that fight broke out right before the wedding, because I feel like it really, opened Natalie's eyes to seeing, like, yo, we have problems here. Like, he has underlying issues. I have underlying issues. Because if you remember, like, Shane had a big problem with Natalie because she really sucked at expressing love. Like, she bullies people out of love. Like, he'd be like, oh, like, can you call me pretty, like, on my birthday? And she'd be like, no, I think you're actually kind of ugly, LOL, LOL. And I get it. Like, I am the same way. Like, I suck at complimenting people. But I understand Shane's point as well. Because, like, if it's your partner, like, you don't want to do these jokes. You want love. Like, you want, like, I think you are beautiful. Not like, oh, well, I think, like, you're okay. Like, I see the point. So, clearly, they both had underlying issues. Like, on the surface, they looked really good. Like, on the surface, they looked great. But deep down inside, like, they both had issues. And I'm pretty sure Shane, one of them, like, had to be the alcohol. I just feel like it is. Don't quote me on this. This is just me speculating from the show. Remember, this is just me giving my opinion on the people. But I just feel like they had a lot of underlying issues, and I'm glad that shit came to light the day before the wedding. And I'm glad Natalie said no, because she knows what's best for her heart. Like, Natalie seems like a very smart woman, very independent woman. So I'm just happy that didn't work out. I don't know in the future, like, what's going to happen with them. I don't know. I feel like Natalie can low-key do better. But I don't know. They seemed very in love with each other. So I guess we will see in the future, or we won't. I don't really care. I'm going into the next couple. Mallory and Salvador. Damn it, I was rooting for them. I was rooting for them, like, hardcore. Because they just seemed, like, so nice. They just looked really nice with each other. Like, they complemented each other very well. But I feel like this is just another one of those couples who had underlying issues, had a lot of trust issues in the past. Clearly, like, Salvador had some, like, shit breakup where, like, the ex pulled up. Mallory had, like, a lot of, like, self-conscious issues that she was talking about at the beginning of the show. And I feel like, honestly, like, Mallory was not really 100% into the guy. It just didn't seem that way to me. Like, I don't know. Because remember, she says she likes a lot of, like, tomboy kind of guys, like, going out to sports and shit. Like, look at the conversation she had with Jarrett in Mexico. Like, she likes the going out, going to football games, da-da-da. But Salvador is a lot more, like, romantic, Disney prince kind of guy, playing the ukulele, playing songs, like, cooking dinner for her, like, which is not a bad thing. It's just not everybody's type. And we will get into people's types in a minute. they were just very, like, I just feel like they had a lot of issues going on too, a lot of personalized issues that they had to go through, a lot of outside world issues. And I just think that if they were to get married, they would have been divorced in 3 years kind of thing. Like, they just did not seem like they were gonna last for me. And I like how at the end, when they were at the altar, Salvador said no, but they were willing to just like work it out and take it slow. And when they said that, I was actually really hoping that they would get back together, you know, before the reunion. Because, you know, when you're taking it slow and just going on dates and just dating a boyfriend, it's a lot easier than having a ring on your finger, being engaged to somebody, and having to marry them in 3 weeks when you knew nothing about them to begin with. It's a lot of pressure. So I was actually rooting for them, but clearly they didn't work out. And then at the reunion episode, I just felt like Salvador, like, what the frick? He was being such an asshole to Mallory, like, raising his voice, like, I just don't understand, like, I just don't understand, like, all this shit. And I frankly just did not like how he was coming for Mallory. Like, I kind of was like, whoa, where was this side in the relationship, you know? This is another example of a couple who had underlying issues, and it's good that these issues came to light before they got married at the altar. I did not like how he was coming for her. And something that Shake said at the reunion was like 2 points I want to say. The first one is the whole conversation with Jarrett at Mexico. That was very uncomfortable to do. But second of all, Salvador, like, ex-girlfriend pulled up and started all this drama a couple days before the wedding. So I just, like, that goes back to what I was just saying. Like, they just have a lot of underlying issues they had to fix. And I feel like at the end of the day, when they do fix it, like, it's kind of going to be, like, too late. They're going to be like, look, like, I'm not even interested in you kind of thing. But I just did not like how Salvador was coming for Mallory at the reunion. Like, he just seemed very passive-aggressive to me. And then he would try to cover it up with, like, it's, like, our business. And, like, I don't want to bring it up again. I don't want to bring it up again. But, da-da-da-da. And I was just like, what, Salvador? Like, you, like, I don't know. That threw me for a loop. I did not like it. I did not like how he talked to my girl Mallory. I know Mallory made mistakes in the show and shit, but that was still my girl. Like, I loved Mallory. And she was gorgeous. Okay, she was gorgeous. The next couple that I want to talk about has been stirring the media, has been stirring Twitter, has gotten the whole world, like, going crazy. And it's Shake and Deepti. Shake and Deepti. This was the couple that really, like, highlighted the show. Their drama highlighted the show. Their relationship highlighted the show. Shake's actions highlighted the show. Shake and Deepti blew up social media, blew up Twitter when that shit was going down, and the whole, like, Shake leading her on, and then her saying no at the altar, and then her deserving so much more, da-da-da-da-da, like, a bunch of bullshit. And I just want to first off start by saying, honestly, Deepti is beautiful inside and out, period. She deserves so much more than what Shake could give her. And I am very proud and happy that she walked away at the altar and said no to Shake before he even had a word for anything. Like, I'm very happy. Like, she is a very strong woman. She knows her worth, period. Like, Deepti, like, she looked stunning on her wedding day, y'all. Like, she looks so pretty on her wedding day. Like, I love Deepti. Like, props to Deepti. Like, she is the bad bitch who left the altar and, like, knew she deserved better because, like, he clearly was not attracted to her. But I feel like what he did on the show was not correct, but it didn't have bad intentions, if that makes sense, okay? So if you know about the couple, like, Jake was asking a lot of physical questions to the people through the pod. So throughout the wall, he was asking a lot of physical questions, like, what size are you? Like, what size clothes do you wear? Can you fit on somebody's shoulder? Like, a lot of, like, asshole questions, which I get it. He shouldn't have done, because the whole point of the experiment is to not know how the person looks like, to see if you fall in love with them. But he did it anyways. Like, he did it anyways, and Deepti knew he was saying those stuff, but Deepti at the end of the day said yes. And I'm going to continue from there. So that was just like phase one. Clearly from the get-go, you can see that he was not physically attracted to her. I don't condone, like, the stuff that he said to her. I don't condone him saying, like, oh, she reminds me of my aunt. or like, oh, like I don't have like the animal instinct, or like, oh, I like blonde girls, or oh, like, you know, at the pause and everything, asking like the size of pants you wear, or like, oh, can I like carry you can I carry you at a festival on my shoulders? Like, I don't think he should have said anything like that, but I think he didn't say it with malicious intent. I think he just said it the wrong way possible. And that's really what narcissists do. Narcissists just speak whatever is on the top of their mind. Like, they don't think about other people's emotions. Like, they're not empathetic. They just say what they say, even if it comes off as rude. And like, y'all can be mad at him for saying all the stuff that he said, but at the end of the day, like, you gotta realize, like, he's a narcissist. Like, he's gonna say whatever comes to his mind. And I will agree, I do not like what he said. I do not agree with it. I feel like there was a way better way of coming up with those things, but I just feel like he did not do that with malicious intent, if that makes sense. Like, I just don't think he did this out of like the like hateful of his heart, if that makes sense. Because if you notice in the show, he would always refer to her as the nickname Deeps. Like, he was always referring to Deepthi as like his best friend. Like, Deepthi was hitting all the spots in the friend way, just not the physical attraction that you want in a partner. And that makes a lot of sense, if I'm being honest. Y'all know it's true. If you, like, for example, I am a girl. My best friend is a guy. I love him. I love him inside and out. I love the way he talks. I love the way he presents himself. I love his mindset. But am I physically attracted to him? No. So it's not going anywhere. Like, it doesn't matter how much you love a person, or you love the way they present themselves, or you love their mindset. If you're not physically attracted to them, it's not working out. Like, if you're married and you don't find your partner attractive and you don't have sex with him or her or whatever, like, what? I just feel like everybody who watched this show was really mad at Shake and was like, you missed the whole purpose of the show. The whole point of the show is to like fall in love with somebody that you only know by their heart, like not how they look. Well, let me tell you something, like, y'all are just mad that he proved the theory that love is not blind. Okay, oh, is love really blind? Y'all wanted to see if it's true, and like, he proved that it's not. And I knew going into this show from the get-go, love is not blind. I knew from the get-go, love is not blind. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, everybody's gonna come out of here married just because, like somebody is bound to find somebody ugly. Like, I'm sorry, it's true. And 9 times out of 10, I couldn't even do the show just for the sole purpose that I don't know what the other person looks like. I can be on the show and I can be talking to someone and I can fall in love with their voice and fall in love with the words they tell me and all, like, the satisfaction of their voice. But if we meet up and he's ugly as shit and not my type, I'm walking the other way. There's no way, like, I can overcome that. And y'all can call me a bitch, y'all can call me stuck up, y'all can call me whatever the hell you want. Like, I don't care. I know I'm not the baddest bitch in the room, but like, physical attraction in a relationship is just so important. It's so important, if not one of the biggest factors. Like, and maybe it's not like that for everybody. Clearly, like, the people who did get married on the show and everything, season 1 and season 2, they proved that love is blind and that they were attracted to them. But I'm also like, maybe y'all just got lucky. Maybe y'all just got lucky that the guy you freaking, like, got engaged to is hot and he's your type. What if he was ugly? What if he was ugly? I'd like to shout out my girl Amber from season 1, who did get married and just proved my point exactly. There needs to be a physical attraction to have that spark and have a good sex life and a good relationship. Thank you. And then, like, I hated the fact that even, like, Nick and Vanessa, like, the hosts, were literally coming for Shane. Like, that annoyed me so much. And there were just parts in the reunion episode that I just want to talk about a little bit regarding Shane. When he made that comment at the reunion about, like, I think everybody here is beautiful, but if I'm being honest, I'm only attracted to Vanessa. It makes 100% sense. Like, I know it comes off as like an asshole way, but it makes sense, y'all. Like, y'all can't tell me it doesn't make sense. Because if you had 10 men lined up in front of you, you'd probably find all of them pretty, but you would only be attracted to certain people. Like, there's only going to be a certain amount of people where you're like, holy crap, like, he's hot, I want to get it on with him. Or he's hot, I want to get it on with him. This guy's cute, but he's not my type. How many times have you guys said, oh, like, this is my type and this is not my type? So I see where he's coming from. And I just feel like he was being made to be like the villain and the asshole of the story, which, like, he is the asshole, but he's not the villain, you know? And, like, if I'm being honest, like, another thing that caught me by surprise at the reunion was they were all like, oh, like, Shake, but we heard what you were saying about her behind her back. And, like, we even told her that, like, he's not a good match for you. He's not a good match for you. What? Y'all telling me that y'all were telling Deepti that, like, he was not a good match, yet she continued on in the relationship? Okay, two sides to the story. Also, like, why did Deepti, like, agree to this? Like, if all the friends were telling Deepti that he was talking about her behind her back, red flag. And then on top of that, she already knew what he was saying in the pods. And then Vanessa was, like, on this whole, like, bullshit rant about, like, what if she was, like, dismangled? Like, what if she lost a limb? Like, I'd be damned, knock on wood, then I break my leg and Nick leaves me. What the frick does that gotta do with anything, woman? What the hell does that gotta do with anything, yo? What the hell does that have to do with anything, yo? Like, frankly, what does that, like, you are literally, like, kind of gaslighting. Are you not? Are you not gaslighting right now? It sounds like you are, because being dismantled and having, like, a dismantled, I don't think that was the right word, was genuinely in love with a person and they lost a limb for XYZ reason. I don't know, maybe he would leave, maybe he wouldn't, but that's so far out of the idea. That's so far-fetched. That has nothing to do with what we were talking about. Like, we're talking about her physical attraction. Bitch, if she lost a limb or not, like, he still wouldn't be attracted to her. Like, I don't understand. Like, that was so far-fetched. And I did not like how Vanessa said that stuff. Vanessa, like, for me, she was very much gaslighting. I said what I said. Like, Vanessa was very much picking and choosing who she liked on the show. And then towards the end of the reunion episode, when she asked Shane, oh, like, do you want to talk about it or are you uncomfortable? It was the last thing I was going to ask. Actually, we'll move on. Hey, Shayna. What, girl? You didn't even give him time to answer the question. And it was just really annoying. And then, like, they would be like, oh, let's just change the subject. And then, like, Vanessa would completely cut him off. Or, like when Kyle was coming for him about, like, oh, I don't know why you messed it up, dude. Oh my God, he was not physically attracted to her. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. I kind of see two sides to the story here. And I'm not putting blame on Deepti for anything, but I'm also like, girl, like, it sounded like you kind of low-key knew. Sounded like you were low-key knew, but, like, y'all were, like, I feel like Deepti was, like, so caught up in the fairy tale of the relationship. Love is not blind, and he proved it, and I think y'all are just getting mad at the fact that he proved you guys wrong. And I think you guys are like, well, he was on the wrong show. He was on the wrong show. Maybe he was, but A, why did he get casted? Why did he get casted? And B, like, I think he said he took the show as a joke because everybody was taking him as a joke. So he's like, fuck it, the whole show is a joke. But he just proved that love is not blind. After the show, I was researching on Shake and whatever, because I was like, ain't no way he is the asshole everybody makes him out to be. Like, he is a veterinarian, y'all. Like, he literally takes care of animals. Like, I don't understand. But I was checking him out. He has a podcast, and he did an episode with Rodrigo Garcia Platas, and he basically is a human experience specialist. And he's basically just trying to break down Shake, trying to figure out, like, the way he is, and how he is. And there was a point where there were, like, I forgot what it was called, but it was, like, 3 levels of attraction, or, like, 3 levels, or like, the levels of attraction, or something like that. And number 3 was love. Number 2 was sex, and number 1 was anger. Number 3 is love. Love is not enough to make a relationship. The fact that that's, like, number 3 on the list, and, like, scientifically, like, proven kind of thing, like, it just makes a lot of sense. And, like, I feel like he did love Deepti. Not in a physical, like, not in the physical aspect, not in the engagement, like, I want to marry you till death do us part type thing. But I feel like he did love her in a way as, like, this girl, like, is my best friend. And he, if you notice in the show, he would always call her Deeps. He would never call her Deepti. Not never, but most of the time he would call her Deeps. Like, she brings out the best in me and stuff like that. It's just like that physical attraction was not there. So we could never overcome that if the physical attraction is not there. And period. Like, he's right. So, and, like, just another point with the whole Shake thing. It's just, like, you guys gotta keep in mind that, like, opposites attract. Opposites attract, whether it be through trauma, looks, whatever the case may be. Look at the people who got married at the end of season 2. Jarrett and Ayana were completely opposites. Ayana was very homebody, quirky. Jarrett like going out with his friends and shit. Danielle and Nick. Danielle was very insecure, and Nick had a very much guilt personality, so he would always like bring her up and talk to her about the trauma and shit. Got to a point in their podcast where he was like, yeah, like I was born in India, like I've been around brown people all my life, but like when I came to America, I'm like, holy crap, like there's so many other types of like people. Opposites attract, and I just feel like Deepti and Shake were just way too similar to begin with. Both very calm, both coming from like an Indian family, Indian culture. Both his preferences are just like white people and stuff, and like blondes and tall people and whatever. I just feel like they were just way too similar to begin with. Like Shake was always getting hated on for saying like, oh, Deepti's like not his type, like he likes white people. Deepti in the show literally said, oh, like I usually only date like white tall men. Let's be honest here, like Shake was not her type either to begin with, and like she didn't say it as mean as Shake did, but she said that white men were her type. So I'm kind of like, whoa, like there's two sides of the story here. Like at the reunion, like every time he tried to speak, which like mind you, like every time he did try to speak, it made me laugh a lot. Like he made me laugh. And also like, did you guys see how like blood red his eyes were at the beginning of the show? Like I feel like he was high as fuck, which I don't condone that. But I don't know. I feel like there was like a little bit something shady about Deepti during that reunion. Like every time Shake would talk, Deepti would start talking behind her, like his back, and like whispering to Shayna next to him. And like, I also get it because like he did come in pretty intense. Like it looked like he came in because he wanted to fight and stuff like that. But if you also listen to the podcast, he apparently like 5 days before the reunion episode, he was hanging out with the people on the show and they were having a great time. So for them to like come on here and like say all that stuff at a reunion, like he even said it, like I'm seeing a lot of people who were real at the beginning and like were fake as hell at the end. And like if that were to be true and that's the case, then like I would be getting defensive too. I would be lighting it up just like him too. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like she also could have seen the red flags and like avoided it from the get-go, I feel like. And I like commend her. Like she's a beautiful soul, and I feel like that's why she tried so hard to make it work and all that shit. But I feel like there's just two sides of the story here. I feel like I just found it very weird that like everybody was coming for Shake at the end, and everybody was like, you know, backing up Deepti, saying, oh, she's a beautiful soul. Like she's beautiful. She's beautiful. Like, yeah, we get it. Like she's beautiful. She's amazing. Like we love her. Everybody loves her. But like at the end of the day, like he didn't owe, like he did not owe anybody anything. He didn't owe anybody anything. Everybody's like, oh, like he dragged her on. He dragged her on. Okay, what did Jessica do to Mark in season 1? Didn't Jessica drag it on till the very end of the show? Didn't Jessica like say a bunch of shit when she was drunk that was out of pocket? Didn't Jessica like keep trying to go back to Barnett and talking to him and like manipulating the relationship and all that stuff? Like, okay. Like, I get it. Shake presented himself in the worst way possible, but he's a narcissist. But I just feel like he didn't have it, like, with malicious intent. I don't think he does. And now he's dating some girl who's hot and blonde, and he's living life with the Emily chick. Whoop-de-doo. And Deepti recently posted this little reel with Kyle on her Instagram, so I guess everything worked out for the better. You can't be mad at Shake for keeping it real. And he's honestly 100% right when it comes to, like, if there's no physical attraction, it's not gonna work, especially in a marriage. It's dead ass. Like, it's dead ass. It's psychologically proven that we have animal instincts, that we have needs and stuff like that. And those needs are only fulfilled with people we find attractive 9 times out of 10. He doesn't have to marry the girl at the end of the day. There's no, like, guarantee that you have to say I do and marry the person. Like, so many people said I don't. He didn't owe anybody at the end of the day. You can't be mad at Shake for being honest. Like, you can't be mad at somebody for being honest and saying what they said just because you don't like it. I said what I said, period. So I just feel like with Shake, he was just very immature and he just did not know how to connect his emotions with reality. And I don't think he hated Deepti. I just think y'all are mad that he is speaking facts. And I understand that he shouldn't have said what he said about Deepti and led her on and all that stuff. And like, I commend the mother for saying, like, she does not deserve less than 5% or whatever, 0.5% that you're giving her. But, like, sorry that it didn't work out. Sorry that he wasn't physically attracted to her. Whatever. Love is not blind. I feel like y'all are just mad that he proved the theory that love is not blind. Like, I'm sorry. I just feel like Shake was being made to be, like, the villain the whole time. But in reality, I feel like there was another villain in the story. So the next couple and the last couple I want to talk about, which I think the villain in this story is the guy in this relationship, but whatever. So the last couple I wanted to talk about was Shayna and Kyle. And basically the reason why they didn't work out was just because they had different religious views. Like, she was very Christian. He was very much atheist. Like, they just were not compatible, I guess, because of their religious views. And Shayna, at the end of the day, were like, I can't marry you because I just feel like I have to marry somebody in my religion, in my faith, based on, like, who has the same view of God as me and, like, wants to raise, like, my kids, like, in a faithful way and blah, 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 whatever. I will admit, like, Shayna was a lot of things, but wanting a man to be of her same religion or her same faith is not one of them. Like, she had a lot of shit character traits. Like, she was dragging on, like, she dragged him on. But I just feel like, if she wanted to marry somebody with the same faith as her, like, period. Like, she has every right to do that. She has every right to do that. And this was most likely not the best show for her then. Like, y'all want to say this isn't the show for Shake, but this definitely wasn't the show for Shayna, because the whole point of this was to, quote-unquote, have an open mind and blah, 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 blah. Well, she didn't have an open mind because she knew at the end of the day, like, she saw herself getting married to somebody with the same religious beliefs. So that's that. But if she was feeling any bit of doubt or, like, hesitation, like, she should have just said no. But at the end of, like, the show, like, during the reunion episode, she very much apologized for it. Like, she told Kyle, like, I'm sorry, like, I should have just said no, like, I had a lot of hesitation. I had a lot of doubt. But it's true. Like, she didn't listen to her gut from the get-go. Look at where it ended up. But I just feel like Kyle was just attacking her. Like, he was like, why? Like, why? Like, just going at her at the show. And it was like, she fucking apologized. Like, she knew she should have said no from the get-go. But at least, like, she didn't drag you on onto the altar and then said no at the altar. Like, at least she cut it off earlier. And, like, I just feel like Kyle, he is a very manipulative guy, y'all. Like, he's very suave, but he's very manipulative. Like, he was just not giving it to me, like, at the fucking reunion episode. I just feel like he was being way too narcissistic and cocky. And if I'm being honest, like, I feel like he is manipulative, kind of, in a way. Like, I feel like deep down he is, because he, like, for a couple of reasons. Like, the first one I want to say is, like, he proposed to her with his grandmother or, like, his mother's, like, engagement ring or something. And he was like, oh, like, you just remind me so much of my mom. Like, you remind me so much of my mom. And, like, this is, like, my grandmother's engagement ring, like, whatever. Which, first of all, like, red flag. If I remind you of your mom, don't date me. Red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, like, oh, very nice gesture that you gave, like, your grandmother's ring. But, like, when Shayna was like, no, like, I wanted my own ring, I would too. Like, who the fuck am I to be getting hand-me-downs when I'm getting married to somebody? Sorry, said what I said. I totally get her too. And, like, I understand the pressure of, like, oh, like, this is, like, your mother's engagement ring. Like, oh my God. And then also, like, the whole pressure with, like, her and Shane and, like, how they didn't break up and, like, he got engaged to Natalie and da-da-da. Like, I get it. But, like, Kyle seems to be the one with, like, the real issues here. Like, he seemed, like, manipulating and controlling at that reunion episode, and he kept trying to guilt trip her and, like, gaslight her. And it's, like, sorry that she broke your heart, dude, but, like, you weren't the only one on the show that got let on. Like, you weren't the only one on the show that got let on. And then, like, at the end, he was like, oh, like, well, like, my biggest regret in all of this was, like, I should have asked Deepthi to marry me. Like, I love her. I should have asked her. Then why are you so freaking pressed about Shayna? What? Like, that literally took me off guard. I was like, you were literally, like, about to yell at this woman. Like, what? And back to, like, the whole manipulating thing. Like, the first one was, like, the ring. But the second one was when he was like, I just, like, can't believe there's still people, like, in this day and age who think like that, who don't have, like, that progressive mind state. Hello? Reality check, motherfucker. Yes, there are still people in this country, in this world, who want to be married based off of their religion and who have the same views as them based on religion. It's true. Not everybody is as progressive as you, Kyle. It's true. A lot of people still want to get married in the same religion. And let's be honest, a Christian and an atheist, like, what the hell? Like, that was not going to work out from the get-go, yo. That was not going to work out from the get-go. And, like, I just did not like them. I mean, like, at first, I thought Shayna was, like, the bitch. But in reality, it's, like, Kyle. Kyle was, like, the bitch, yo. I did not like him. I didn't like the way he was, like, doing all that stuff at the end of the, you know, on the reunion episode. And then, like, when he was like, oh, well, I should have married Deepti, Shake was like, well, there you go. And he's like, well, that's what got me so mad, Shake, is like, you had the perfect opportunity and you wasted it. And then Shake was like, hey, like, one door closes, another one opens kind of thing. Like, yeah, I wasted the opportunity, but now you got that opportunity. And then, like, Kyle was, like, so offended, whatever. And then Shake was, like, happy to facilitate. I thought that shit was funny as fuck. Because, yeah, happy to facilitate, my guy. Go take my ex-girl. Like, it's all yours. Like, I thought that was funny. Like, back to the whole thing. Like, y'all, like, people these days are just so sensitive. And y'all like to listen, but you don't like to hear what people are saying, I feel like. Case in point with Shayna and Kyle. If Kyle would have listened to Shayna and about all the concerns she was having from the jump since the day they met, then he should have known it was just not going to work out. And he should have known how much of a concern and a priority it was to Shayna, like, her religion and her beliefs. Y'all are very much, like, in one ear, out the other, and, like, I don't know, like, that's, like, what bothers me a lot about, like, season 2 and stuff like that. It's just, like, everybody was attacking, and, like, nobody was listening. Like, what's the whole point of a reunion episode if we're not going to talk about what happened and, like, discuss what happened on the show? You know, like, y'all made Shake out to be the victim. Y'all made Shake out to be the villain. And, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's low-key Kyle. Kyle was, like, manipulating as fuck in that reunion tour. And he said some stuff, like, during the season that was kind of a little weird, too. Like, Shayna was clearly expressing her concern about how, like, the different views of religion, like, how that's going to affect them and whatever. And he's like, just have hope. Just have hope. Motherfucker, what? I'm literally Christian and I'm getting married to somebody in 3 weeks that I don't even know how they look like, don't even know anything about them. And, like, the one thing, like, the one factor I do want is that they're Christian. They're not even Christian. Like, I understand Shayna. She was under a lot of pressure. And that just proves that the theory, love is not blind. There it goes again. Like, yeah, maybe she liked them and all that stuff and that she was attracted to him. But, like, the fact that he wasn't religious, like, it doesn't matter what you sound like. It doesn't matter what you look like. Like, that's the thing, like, love is not blind. Love is not blind. And that's what bothered me about Nick and Vanessa, too, is, like, we're here to prove the theory that love is blind, or whatever. We're here to prove the theory that if love is blind. 2 people on the show, especially season 2, 2 people off season 2, basically proved that love is not blind, and now, like, they're getting mad at it. And I just did not like that. Like, season 2, I enjoyed it a lot because it was a lot more drama. It was a lot more reality TV. But with reality TV, like Shake said, you don't know what's getting cut. You don't know what's getting added. You don't know what's getting manipulated. Reality TV is literally made to be dramatic. Why do you think there's so many dramatic sound effects? Why do you think there's so many, like, zooming in onto, like, the one person? Like, I don't get it. And then at the end of the day, like, Deepti and Kyle, did they not get together? Because literally today, she posted a picture or a video on Instagram about her doing, like, a skincare routine on him. Like, at the end of the day, like, are they together or not? And if they are, like, at the end of the day, don't they get what they want or whatever? Like, I don't know. It just bothered me so much how so many people got offended by the end of season 2, and I feel like y'all got offended in the worst way possible. Like, it was like Shake is the villain and then, like, everybody else, but it's like, no, everybody is the villain kind of thing. Like, I feel like everybody was a bitch on that show. I don't like the cast who got casted. Like, I feel like they all just have way too much drama. When it comes to the people who got married, they have a lot of problems too, but at least they're married and working it out. But the people who stayed single, like, y'all just had so much drama. Y'all have so many underlying issues. Like, I feel like Shake was not the only one with underlying issues. I just feel like everybody had something they had to deal with at the show. I feel like everybody had underlying issues. Like, why are y'all coming for Shake? Y'all are coming for Shake because, like, I get it, he said things in the wrong way, but he was honest. He was honest, and I feel like at least he was honest, unlike everybody else who was playing dumb. I just feel like most of the people on this season had way too many underlying issues that they had to deal with before even thinking about getting married or before even thinking about going through an experience like this. So I just think everybody in this cast was shit. Yeah, with that being said, I guess that's that for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my rant, and like, grow up. Like, that's all I gotta say. With that being said, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Everything is on my bio. Check me out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do what you gotta do. Thank you for this little impromptu episode. I don't even think I'm gonna watch season 3 because the show is just stupid at the end of the day, and like the hosts are pretty dumb. But with that being said, that's that for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you with the next one. See ya.